Welcome to Ford Hub, and today we're taking a journey back in time to explore one of the most groundbreaking and stylish cars ever built, the 1979 Citroën DS. This isn't just a car, it's an icon of design, technology, and comfort that left the automotive world stunned when it first arrived, and by 1979, it had reached the peak of its refinement. Even decades later, the DS stands as proof that true innovation never goes out of style. The Citroën DS was first introduced in 1955, and it was so far ahead of its time that people struggled to compare it to anything else. The 1979 model came at the end of its production run, but instead of fading away quietly, it went out as one of the most advanced and stylish vehicles on the road. It was more than just transportation, it was a symbol of French engineering excellence, art, and imagination all rolled into one. From the outside, the 1979 Citroën DS still had that unmistakable shape that had turned heads for almost a quarter of a century. Its body was long, sleek, and aerodynamic in a way that most other cars of the time couldn't match. The smooth, flowing lines seemed to cut through the air effortlessly, while the rear wheel covers added to its futuristic appearance. At the front, the car's distinctive headlight setup stood out, not just in design but in function. Many versions featured headlights that turned with the steering wheel, allowing drivers to see further into corners, an incredible feature that most cars wouldn't adopt for decades. The DS's looks weren't just for show, they were the result of careful aerodynamic study, helping improve both performance and fuel efficiency. And while other cars of the 1970s were still boxy and upright, the DS looked like it had come from the future. Even in 1979, nearly 25 years after its debut, it still appeared modern and innovative. Step inside the cabin, and the sense of uniqueness only grew stronger. The 1979 Citroën DS offered an interior that felt airy, spacious, and completely different from the competition. The dashboard design was minimal and elegant, and the iconic single-spoke steering wheel was unlike anything else on the market. This wasn't a gimmick, it was designed to improve visibility of the instrument cluster and make driving more comfortable. The seats were wide, soft, and built for long-distance comfort, almost like sitting in a luxury armchair rather than a traditional car seat. But what really made the DS legendary was its ride quality, and that was all thanks to Citroën's hydropneumatic suspension system. Instead of conventional springs, the DS used a pressurized hydraulic system with nitrogen-filled spheres. This allowed the car to automatically adjust its ride height and soak up bumps in a way no other vehicle could. It was so smooth that journalists often compared it to riding on a magic carpet. In the 1979 model, this system was at its most refined, giving passengers an unparalleled level of comfort. The DS wasn't about raw power, it was about effortless driving. The 1979 version offered a range of reliable inline-4 engines, paired with either a manual or a semi-automatic gearbox. It accelerated with confidence, cruised quietly, and handled surprisingly well for such a large and comfortable car. Thanks to its suspension, it stayed composed even on rough roads, and its sharp steering made it feel agile in city traffic. Safety was another area where the DS was ahead of its time. Its body structure was designed with crumple zones to absorb impact forces, something few cars of the era had. The hydraulic braking system provided exceptional stopping power, giving drivers added confidence behind the wheel. By the time 1979 arrived, the DS had become a cultural icon. It was driven by world leaders, celebrities, and anyone who wanted something truly different. It had been featured in movies, photography, and art, and it had a reputation for being both sophisticated and futuristic. The 1979 model was the last of the line before Citroën replaced it with the CX, but many enthusiasts still consider it the finest and most polished DS ever built. Driving one today is a reminder of just how bold Citroën was with its design and engineering. The moment you start it, the suspension rises gracefully to its driving height, a little mechanical dance that never fails to impress. On the road, it glides over imperfections as if they're not even there. The cabin remains calm and quiet, and every journey feels relaxed, no matter the distance. The 1979 Citroën DS wasn't just a product of its time, it was a vision of what cars could be. It proved that a manufacturer could blend cutting-edge technology, comfort, and style into a single package that would remain timeless. Even now, when it rolls past, people stop, stare, and often smile, because it's not just a car, it's a piece of rolling art. Here at Ford Hub, we celebrate cars like the DS because they show what happens when automakers take risks and think differently. The Citroën DS will always be remembered not only for what it achieved in its own time but also for the influence it had on the generations of cars that followed. The 1979 model stands as the ultimate evolution of that vision, and even today, it feels like something special. Some cars are designed to take you places, but the Citroën DS, it was designed to take you somewhere entirely new, somewhere smoother, sleeker, and more stylish than you ever thought possible.